Okay, so here we go. We have Mike, a nomination for the best screenplay for a short film. How are you, Mike?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good, thank you. So we have a few questions for you. So what made you go into script writing?
Actually, it's a good question. It was COVID, if you can believe that. We had a lot of restrictions with respect to COVID, and it made us spend a lot more time inside and not around people and not out and about. So it gave me a perfect time, as I had a lot of time on my hands to really put the ideas I've had stuck in my brain for the last 10, 15 years to paper. So it was good. It was nice to have something good come out of something so tough. So again, that definitely gave me the time to actually finally start to write, which is great.
Okay, nice. So and I see a lot of film posters behind you. Is it films that you worked on, or is
I'm surrounded by inspiration. It's films that I've loved and have been part of my life in different periods of my upbringing, and I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of actors and directors and producers and writers throughout many different opportunities in my history and upbringing. So it's definitely been movie making has always been part of my every day. So now I'm lucky enough to be able to write, and hopefully lucky enough to have the opportunity to have some made into motion pictures. So
nice? Thank you very much. And how would you make your last script better if you could?
my last script that I completed was actually a buddy comedy, so it's not the one that I was selected for this festival, but my last one was a buddy comedy, and it was 165 pages long, so it was way too long.
Okay.
And that's the one thing I do want to change and have been spending some time on. I was curious if the content would land, so I did enter it into a few festivals, just a couple to get some feedback, and the feedback's been great. It's actually been winning some awards, even though it's at 165 pages. And the feedback has been the only negative feedback has just been the length. So that's what I wanted to hear. So that's where I now spend some time to tighten it up and clean it up and remove some maybe some unwanted dialogue and things that might not necessarily need to be in the finished product. So
Okay, good. Yeah, 500 pages is a lot of work, right?
yeah,
Right?
it's 165 pages long, and it's definitely a lot. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And why did you choose that particular subject for the film that you were nominated for?
since I started writing, I've been really trying to, and I tend to gravitate towards horror-based themes. But first couple of scripts that I wrote had a lot of comedy in them. So I some of the feedback I was getting early on was, this is great, but have you thought about maybe writing comedy? Because there's some really good stuff in here. The horror is great, but the comedy is also great. So maybe branch out a bit. So for me, it was spending some time to, I guess, strengthen my portfolio and work into different genres. And so this last buddy comedy that I wrote was kind of my first stab at a true comedy. I've got a couple of other scripts that are comedy related, but this one is definitely a true comedy. So that one is the reason why I got into that. And the script that I actually got nominated in your festival for is actually a horror based with a little bit of comedy. And it's a short story. So again, I tend to gravitate towards those two genres more so than anything. But that's been a piece of why I chose that avenue to go down. And it's a buddy comedy that's kind of geared towards some real life subjects like death and mortality and how we all feel like we're going to be around a long time, but sometimes we're not, and what that reality comes back to. And I thought I'd play some humor into that, and it really had me thinking about some bucket list ideas, and that's where the storyline for that one came around.
Okay, and it's more like a dark comedy a bit, right? The one.
No, this one's actually really comedic. It's got some some undertones to the fact that, we're not all going to be here forever. And, are we spending, quality time doing what we really want to do in the time we have? So that's where that is. And the script that I was nominated in your festival for is very similar in nature, but it's more geared towards, somebody that's, nearing the end of their rope, and how bitter at life they could possibly be sometimes. And just the irony in that. So again, a little bit of a different feel, but I try to branch out a little bit beyond, my norm, just to, to keep myself well-rounded as a writer.
Okay, nice. Thank you very much. And what do you think is the most important thing when you start a career in script writing?
There's a couple. Writing, and writing. Just keep writing. That's a big one that I've learned early on. And also patience is, there's two things. When I started this and started entering, the one or two scripts I had into some festivals, I realized very quickly that, it takes time. You can be great at writing your first draft, but odds are it's not going to be complete unless you spend a lot of time rewriting and really focusing on the story and the characters. And so patience is a big one, and don't expect that just because you write one that's a hit that the rest are going to hit that quickly, because that's not how that works. And it's just continue to write. And I only started 3 years ago. Because of COVID, and it kind of kicked me into gear with my writing, and I've always wanted to write. So since then, I've written 8 screenplays, and I've got 3 in the works right now. So it's just continue to write, continue to find time, and just it's not going to be perfect the first time. Nobody makes a perfect first draft. It's spending some time, get it on paper, and then cultivate it over time.
Okay, great. That's a nice advice. Thank you for it. And I think that you did give us a hint about your upcoming project, but do you have other ones as well?
I do, actually. I've got, I'm working on 3 right now, which might be a bit much to be working on at once. My brain's working in different directions, because they're definitely different from each other. I'm working on a short story, a short script that's horror driven, and it's based in the 80s. So I'm kind of going back to the old style of horror. And then I've got one that I'm working on that's a feature script, and it's about woke community, and just how that can get turned on its head. And the latest one that I just started getting involved in, and I've kind of been gravitating towards it, as a time travel piece. So so a little bit of each, and definitely different stories, but all really good stories, and I'm looking forward to getting them completed.
Yes, nice. And time traveling, I can see that you like it.
We have a little
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And where can we follow you and your projects?
Yeah, I have a Coverfly account. It will be under Mike Ede, spelled Ede, under Coverfly, as well as Film Freeway. So you can find my writing there as well, and my links are there. I also do have an Instagram page, so it's at Hank Hill Edge. And it's a bit of a pun for my regular business. I manage a propane and heating company, so the Hank Hill piece is where that comes in. But I use that account mainly for my writing, and to talk about upcoming work. So it's a good opportunity.
Okay, great. So when you have the time, maybe you can send me the link, like your link, and I could post it along with the.
Perfect. Great. Thank you.
All right. So thank you so much for being here today, and I wish you the best of luck for the win after the nomination.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the nomination. So thank you. Keep doing a great thing. This festival does a lot of help, and a lot of support, a lot of great things for writers. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.